Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We are entering hour number 2 of today's episode of The Burning Wheel. The first hour was a magical, horrific mess. The second hour, well,
Yeah.
let's find out. Alessandra.
Mm-hmm.
Alessandra. So some time has passed since last we saw you cavorting the halls with Lord Soren, Lord Volpe, Soren
Mm-hmm.
Volpe, and I think some time has passed since then, right?
Yep.
You've jumped ahead. I'd like to see you at home. I'd like a scene of you, maybe away from the court.
Okay.
I think that you're in your house, and you're having a meal. You're eating dinner with Reza and with your son.
Of course.
It's a fairly, I don't know, what's the scene? Is it like, are you all kind of like, are you being fake nice to them? Is this like just everyone sitting quietly eating? Also, I've asked this before. How old is your kid again?
My son would be around 4 or 5.
Okay, all right. So capable of like eating food and like
Yes.
not like a
He
babe in
might need a he
arms.
might need a cushion to sit on a regular chair, but maybe we like let him now that he's technically like the lord of the house, I guess, like this is his place now because it passed from his dad to him
So
and
is
I'm
he,
just like caring for it,
so is
right?
he sitting at the head of the table and you and Reza are on
Oh,
either side of him?
oh, maybe that'd be cute.
Okay. All right. So he has a servant. He has like a nanny or something to help him like cut his food and eat, right? Because he can't really like fork and knife very well, but he's trying.
Mm.
Um, and yeah, across you, the two of you, you and Reza are sitting across the table from one another. Um, and
There's probably times when Reza like really like likes that, and then times when I'm just like, oh God, like I don't want to like look straight at you.
mhm, yeah.
I think that today is a time where like things are okay. I haven't done anything horrible to upset Reza, and he hasn't done anything horrible to upset me in the last couple days. Not that he knows of, at least. Maybe he doesn't know about Soren and me running around being silly. Does he know about Soren?
No. I mean, it's. I
Okay.
don't think that it's anything to like know or not know about. You
I
do a
mean, but
bunch
he
of
might be
you do a
jealous.
bunch of dumb shit he doesn't care about.
Okay.
He thinks you're like an airhead and a moron most of the time because like,
Oh, okay.
what do you actually do? I run this house. You go to the court and just flop around.
Of
So
course. Yeah.
he has
That's
real shit to
exactly
do.
that's exactly what I do.
Yeah, but right now you're home and you're eating a meal at the table with your family, and so I think he's in a good mood.
Hmm.
He's got a stein of some beer from like a monastery nearby on the table, and you're eating, and I think maybe you're just finishing up, like he's just finished, and he says he says I feel as though we should be thankful for a meal like this. At least I don't know when the next will come. It's not to say that we aren't well stocked. I've seen to it, but well, if the winter began early and as it seems will last a long time, it's going to be a thin season. And he looks around and he says, "But we'll do fine."
And I think Alessandra looks over to her son, Neculai, and she says, "You need not worry, my dear. We have plenty. Reza is just exaggerating. We look out for our own here, don't we? We'll be fine. We have plenty of food."
And he looks over and he says, "You need not worry about old Fang here." And he puts his like hand on his shoulder and kind of shakes him. And Nikolai like laughs and like kind of growls like a dog. And he says, "I've had to convince the boy thrice just today not to go running out of the castle out into the woods. He's an eager young thing. I say worst comes to worst and we do run out of food. Well, he can go hunting for us." And he like smiles, and Nikolai's like, "Arr."
Are these woods the dark woods? Are these those woods?
Maybe.
Yes.
So I am fairly
Mhm.
superstitious, and I say Neculai will not be going into those woods.
And he scowls at you, and
There are dangerous things in there.
yeah, and
Dangerous even for a man grown, Reza.
he scowls at you, and he says, "Calm yourself, woman. It was just a jest. And besides, the woods aren't so frightening as all that. Why, the rangers go into the dark woods every day. Though less of late, it seems the game has all been scared off by these storms."
And some of them do not come back out, or have you forgotten that? The tales they tell of that place. It is dreadful.
You spend too much time with that witch. The woods are just woods. The people of this city need to fear them less.
Well, maybe, but I would not risk my neck in those dark forests, and I would not have Neculi being pushed and prodded towards being curious about them, wanting to go into them as though it were something to be proud of. You should not engage him in this way.
Curiosity and bravery are good things for a young boy to learn, and learn early. You don't want him growing up to be a mewling coward like those boys at court, do you?
And like she looks over at Neculi and she says, I also don't want to lose the single heir to this house.
Necula is trying to he's trying to get a cherry tomato with a fork, and it keeps squishing out under the fork, and he's like, "Arr, arr," trying to stab it, and it keeps squirming
Nice.
away from him.
Of course.
And he looks at you, and he says, "If you want to raise a mewling calf, well, you shouldn't have gotten pregnant by my brother. Our family is a strong one and old, and you'll see Necula will grow up to be a bold warrior, and they're going to be needed in the times to come with all this uncertainty." I heard the other day while I was in town, there's some young merchant's son trying to foment a revolution against the king. Out in the streets, I heard two worksmen just discussing this. Had I not been on an errand already, I would have soundly beaten them myself. I
That is
told the king's men to look into it, but these are dangerous times, and they're only going to get worse. And
open.
he looks over, and like he keeps interrupting you every time you try to talk. That's why I'm doing this. I'm not trying to be a dick to you, Blue Jay. And he looks over and he says, "But you're not afraid of them, are you?" And the kid kind of looks, and he's like, "Isn't that right, Fang?" And he's like, "Arr!" And he like tousles his hair, and he's like, "That's right. We'll get a knife in your hand as soon as you're able, and then people will be watching out." And the kid just like goes back to trying to spear something on his plate.
Um,
Yeah, and Reza looks at you like, what do you think of that?
Great. Good job making our your what is it, nephew
Yeah.
into a little, dog. That's great. It's excellent. Happy about it. So I guess that I would kind of it's like it's a glare, but it's like a teasing one. Like I think that around Neculi, Alessandra's she realizes that Reza isn't a terrible influence on her son, and that she can't like she has very little interest in raising the kid. So the fact that Reza does take interest is fine. She doesn't really care. So she does like a little teasing glare, like you treat him like he's a toy.
Yeah, I mean, Nikolai there's zero chance that he's gonna go running off into the woods now. But when we jump the campaign forward 10 years and he hates you, that'll be a whole other matter.
Yeah, it'll be great. That'll be excellent. So yeah, I would probably just like glare teasingly at Reza and then like go back to like finishing eating. Unless he had
you give him a little glare, and he kind of
Yeah.
like leans back, and he smiles at you, and he says he says, "Now, if you're brave, Neculai, and you grow to be a big, strong hero, you might be able to attract the attention of a beautiful woman like your mother." And Neculai just looks at you like, "Meh, like it's mom," and he kind of just like gives you this look, and like kicks his little feet. You hear one of his boots fall off and hit the floor, And Reza turns back and looks at you, and he says, "I've always said the best sort of woman is the kind of woman you want to tame but can't. What do you think, boy?" And
This conversation.
Nekulai looks at you and he's just like, "Mama," and like kind of gives you like the fat grabby hand, like he wants to be picked up.
Yeah, yeah. And I glare at Reza a little bit more seriously now, and I'm like, it is too early to talk of marrying him. And I like go down to the floor and I wave the nanny's hand away, who probably went to like grab the boot, and I grab it up and I put it on his foot and I say, Nekulai, you're done eating. And I basically I'm shooing him, and I turn to the nanny and I say, like, take him to schooling or whatever he's doing today.
Yeah,
like
so it would be
reveals for a second how much she like doesn't fucking.
You take him wherever you take him now, and I don't want to talk to him.
Just take him wherever he goes.
And he looks like he's gonna get upset. And Reza notices this like before you do, or you don't even notice. You're just like, take him away, and you go to like turn to Reza, but Reza's looking at Nekulai, and Nekulai sees, or Reza sees Nekulai getting upset, like he's gonna cry. And Reza looks at him and grins. And he's like, "Oh, don't worry, little Fang. I'll come by your room before you fall asleep, and I'll tell you that story. Yes, the one about the big spider." And Nekulai like giggles and laughs, and is carried away by the nanny. And Nekulai, Reza turns to you and says, "I spoke not of marrying the boy. He'll have plenty of time to enjoy women folk before the time to wed comes. Weddings, I think, are a matter for you and I to discuss."
I must just be thinking of my own experience and not on the fact that as a son and as a firstborn son, Nekulai will have a different courtship than I did.
I meant what I said. He'd be lucky to find a woman like you. Sour though you can be sometimes, and difficult. But what man doesn't like a challenge?
Reza.
And she I think Alessandra like takes a deep breath because she just had that conversation with her uncle about how like now that it's winter, it's like officially time to like, you know, take off the black or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I think that I want to try and find a way to either like buy time or convince Reza that it might be in his interest to look other places, right?
So, I mean, yeah, this is going to be tricky because
yeah,
I think he comes around the table. Like, I understand that's your intent, but let's role play to that place.
Yeah, of course.
I get where you're coming from.
Mm-hmm.
I can very fully see why you want to do that. But so he comes around the table so that he's standing, because you're all standing now.
Yeah,
and
having excused people.
He comes around the table to stand near you, and he says, "I know you spoke with a priest. I think that's good, but you know that no one expects you to keep up this pretense any longer. The morning, we were both painful wounded by the loss of my brother, but..." And he like takes your hand. He says, "But he's gone now, Alessandra, and I'm still here, and I've given you such comfort in these times and told no one."
And she like lets him take her hand but looks away, and she says, I would never say that you have not been family to me and to Nekulai more than anyone else here. But you go too far when you say that this morning is pretense. I may not have had a long time with, what's his fucking shit? Gavril,
yeah.
Gavril, with Gavril, but it doesn't mean. And she like trails off, and she's totally fucking lying. She's lying out her ass. Like she doesn't give a shit that like she actually is happy that he died, but she's trying to make Reza believe that she, whether the customary time for mourning is over, she's not ready. Is
He-
what that. So I'm lying on my ass though.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think it's a lie that he's bought into
He's
already.
bought into, okay, because we've probably like established that.
So he says to you, he says, uh, he says, the time to let your heart guide you is over, Alessandra. We have to start thinking of this house, of the boy, of the future. They're going to begin seeing us as weak if you don't remarry. I've done my brother's duty here at the table and elsewhere. We need a little good news, and our people would rejoice if you were to take a husband. It's time.
Perhaps you are right.
No, I am right.
You are right. Yes, Reza, you're right. It is more than time, and it would do good to, especially in times such as these where things are strained and uncertain, it would do good to broaden our reach. And she very carefully says our.
Uh-huh.
And so I think that here, I don't know, is he trying, he's not strictly saying like marry me.
I mean, no, he is. Yeah.
He is.
He's like, listen, I've been doing my brotherly duty for you.
Yeah.
Avec les bedrooms. So
yeah, I got
like,
that.
it's time for you to like legitimize all this hard work I'm doing. I run the house. I'm taking care of your dumb kid. Make him my son. Make this my house. Like, come on.
We all know what the hard work is.
And so like she very
I wouldn't want to have sex with
pointedly, yeah, she very pointedly is like, you're right. Now are some hard times. We should like broaden our reach, stabilize our position. There are many houses at court that could afford us more resources than we currently have. And a marriage is it not the best way to obtain those resources? You would do well too, Reza, to think on this.
Yeah, I think he shakes his head and he says, I almost feel like we're starting a duel of wits here because he wants you to marry him and you want him to consider both of you marrying outside the house but still being like allies. Right? That's what you're trying to suggest here?
Yeah, I'm trying to be like, hey, if your point is like, let's strengthen the house, then like not marrying each other is the best way to be stronger, honestly.
Does this feel significant enough for a duel of wits? I asked that to the group.
I feel like it could be solved with like a skill, right?
I mean, I feel like if you persuade him, if you just
like
say
that's
like,
a big persuasion.
it's a
That's
big
like
persuade.
Yeah, that's like trying to it's persuading Reza to stop looking at me as a marriage thing. It's getting an obstacle completely out of her way.
It's true. I think
So here's what I'll say. I think it counts if you roll into the fact that you've already picked someone for him to go chase. Then it's definitely a duel of wits. If we're trying to like really redirect all of his energy.
Yeah, I think the compromises
if it just stops it.
Compromises make this interesting too.
Yeah, like I'll go marry someone, but you have to keep sleeping with me, or
oh yeah, that's I mean that's what I was angling for as his victory condition. Like I'll marry whoever you want, but I still get to like tell you what to do, and like like because he'll be like, yeah, fine, you marry someone else, hook them into your house, but you got to marry someone I can like browbeat or manipulate. Marry someone not tougher or stronger or smarter than me.
Marry some like old like rich guy,
right?
whatever.
But see, don't sleep with him. Keep sleeping with me. I get everything I have now. Except I get a different wife. I'm gonna get a really hot wife who's like young and stupid, and you get an old
and
dumb
also
one
rich.
Yeah, totally. So what you're essentially doing here is suggesting a different way of things. What he really wants ultimately is to marry you. He still thinks and believes that's what he wants. You can suggest another way, and part of this will be that in the doing so, you won't immediately like. Part of it might be that he's not offended by this idea that you can kind of turn him to a sidelong ally.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think it's nuanced enough to deserve the duel of wits.
Yeah.
All right.
Alas.
I just don't want this to be entirely resolved without allowing me to do one of my beliefs.
Well, I mean, the point is that unless I somehow knock him out first thing, it won't be without compromise.
Well, I mean, the thing is, your belief, Miro, is about speaking to Lady Alessandra on Robelard's behalf. We're not. I don't think that the scope here is way. It would be ridiculous to say, I agree to marry this person, because it takes some work to get there. But it could be I'll marry someone, and then you can get involved in that way. Miro.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, because I'm super invested in this as well.
Basically, what'll happen here is if Alessandra gets her way, word will get out by way of making a bunch of rolls and doing all that other shit. Word can get out that the Lady Alessandra and Lord Reza of House Larix are seeking court, like to be courted, right? They're going out. They're on the market, and then everybody else can start fiddling with who they get married to or how that happens. Okay, so what would you say your position is here, Alessandra? Y'all think about, and feel free. I want everybody to jump in and participate as much as they like through these things.
Okay, duel of wits, doing it. So I have to put what my goal is again.
Yeah, we need to talk about what the
Right.
state your case. Briefly describe your point, why you're right. State your case in an orderly fashion, and then write it out.
Okay, so my case is that because Reza pointed out that it's time for the sake of our family or whatever, I think that it's more valuable for our family for us to marry other people. And
I think we should see different people.
I think we should see different people.
All right, so Reza's point here. So Reza wants, if he wins with no compromise, you will announce to the court your intention to marry him.
Okay, awesome. And I should get more specific.
Actually, I'm just going to shorten that to you will marry Reza.
You'll marry Reza. Nice.
That's what he wants.
Awesome. Great. Perfect. That's
and yours can just be, we'll marry other people.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that if we're gonna go, because the point here in setting up a duel of wits is to kind of overshoot. So when you compromise, you still get something you want, right?
Yes. So your compromise is you'll jump off a cliff, idiot. Yeah.
No,
so it's like
no,
if
no,
I
I'm
win,
not
so
that
if he wins, you will marry him,
Mm-hmm.
and that is a thing. And if I win and somehow manage to totally beat you on this, then that holds.
That happens. Yeah. I think what Alessandra wants is she wants him to acknowledge her as in Nikolai's stead, obviously, as the head of this household. This is her household and it's not his. And so whoever he thinks that she should marry, it's none of his business. And yeah, this is not your house. This is my house. And I'm going to marry whoever I want. And then they're going to be head of this house and not you. This is done. You're a second son forever and ever. Done.
Okay. So if you win, he's
going to acknowledge that this isn't his shit. It's mine. I had a baby and now it's mine.
What would that look like?
That would look like, because you've very clearly played him as this is my house and these are my things and these are ours, but really mine. And I think you're dumb. And
I think he acknowledges that it's you have a place. He's not trying to get rid of you.
Yeah, but he also thinks I'm airheaded. You said.
He thinks that the work you do is pointless. He thinks being a courtier is stupid. He doesn't think you're stupid. He just thinks that it's a dumb non-job.
Okay. I don't know how to say it more succinctly other than she sees herself as the head of the household and he sees himself as the head of the household, right?
No, he
Marry-
doesn't. He sees you as the head of the household, but he wants to fix that by marrying you so that he's the head of the household again. But it's not about fighting you. It's not the fight with you about who's in charge. It's about
Okay, then maybe he would marry and leave. Like go like marry and join his wife's household, which I guess is probably not customary. Usually, I mean, this is obviously we're making all this shit up, but usually the wife would join the husband's household. I want it to be backwards. I want him to marry someone and go join their household and get out from under my hair.
yeah. I mean, he doesn't super have the ability to give you that.
Yeah.
You know,
okay.
like
Is it more about trusting your like tactics for growing the house? Because it sounds like what he's not doing is respecting.
yeah. I mean, you want him to act like you're in charge, right? You want to like be the boss.
Yeah.
So I mean, even like,
But I just don't know how to state, because what I said earlier was like the best way to grow the household, like you were saying, is to like not marry each other. But I think that that's one argument in a larger duel, right? That's just
It's about you knowing what's best
yeah,
rather
And-
than him.
yeah.
Yeah, trust your judgment for the leadership of the house.
Would that be an appropriate statement here?
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, like, I want a concrete action.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
I mean,
It's-
like I said before, like he'll stop, like he'll find someone else to marry.
Yeah.
That could be something, because that's an action he can take, right? You can't change what he thinks.
Okay,
or
I want him
believes.
to find someone else to marry and marry them.
Okay, yeah, sure. He'll marry someone else.
Not just find someone else, because we've already circled them up. They exist. I
Well,
found
yeah, he'll marry someone else, but you don't get to pick who that is until you do some more
don't.
stuff,
Yeah.
which would be a
Okay.
whole other thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Marry
so he'll
someone
marry
else.
someone else.
Okay.
Hold up.
Yeah.
Yep.
You want to qualify it with, he will marry someone of my choosing.
Yeah. That.
Okay.
Yeah, that leaves you a lot more open
Yeah,
for.
That's
For
good.
compromise.
That's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, that's a lot more open. Thank you.
Okay.
Trying to be smart.
All right.
No,
let me-
no. Thank you for making your life completely ridiculous in this game.
It's so
Thank you very
great.
much.
All right. Yeah. I want him to marry someone of my choosing, which implies that, like, a lot of the things we said, right? That I know it's best for the house, that I'm the head of the house, that he.
Yeah, I feel like it elegantly
Yeah.
dovetails it, because like what we're arguing about is marriage, but it's part of this larger kind of dynamic
Power
that we
structure.
solve, which is really about how like your way of building the house and doing all this stuff is the correct way, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have a plan, whereas he's just some dude who assumes that because he is a man, he knows best about everything.
Okay.
I mean, he has a plan too. You just don't know what it
I'm
is.
sure he has a wonderful plan. I'm sure it's elegant and not complicated and would make everyone happy and won't end up with people murdered.
Yeah.
I'm sure
So just totally not your plan.
not
That's
my
all
plan.
it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's be real. That's all we're worried about here.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, he does have the disadvantage of not being a protagonist. Okay. I'm just checking one more quick thing for him. Oh yeah, that's another skill he needs to have. Okay. Cool. So, I think we can begin with working
Cards.
out. We got to work out hit points. For
Oh,
your
right.
arguments.
Okay. It's been a hot minute.
Yeah. Okay. So it's your will exponent is the base, and then you
Mhm.
roll a skill to
I think it would just be persuasion for me.
persuade for you.
Hmm.
Okay. And it's like a regular test. So you can
You can fork things.
yeah. So it's a body of argument skill. Course persuasion, interrogation, oratory persuasion, poisonous platitudes, rhetoric, or stentorious debate. All right. So I'm gonna roll his persuasion.
I can fork things for the body of argument.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's a regular skill test. I'm going to so I'm rolling his persuasion. He has lyrics wise,
Of course it does.
which I'm gonna fork in for this. and he has honor wise, which I'm also gonna fork in. I don't think he's trying to intimidate you. This is a
It doesn't feel like
discussion.
that.
Yeah,
No.
I'll roll that as a thing later if I use it. He's not lying to you.
If he becomes intimidating.
Yeah. Okay.
I think that so it's obstacle just 1 or 0 or whatever. It doesn't matter.
It's just the number of successes you get.
Okay, so I'm rolling persuasion. I think I'm forking in husband wise,
Yep.
estate wise.
Yep.
I think I'm gonna fork in manipulation wise. I'm definitely trying to manipulate him. Right? Like I want him to, yeah, I'm manipulating the shit out of him right now.
Okay.
Lying to him. And I don't think it's court wise.
No.
It might be like courtier, but
No,
that's no
it's
wise.
neither of those.
No. Okay. All right. So estate management. Did I say that? No, estate wise, husband wise, manipulation wise, and I don't think I've used seduction or anything,
No.
right? So okay, those ones plus persuasion. Where's my persuasion? +3.
Okay.
And my will, you
And
said?
the exponent of your will. Yeah.
6.
All right. So you got 10.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Get your cards. Let me get mine, and then y'all can talk about what you want to do here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always a fan of the attack.
Right. Okay, let me just. Okay, so I'm trying to remember how this works.
If you want to play with complete confidence in yourself, you just dismiss on your first action.
So, I'm trying to remember. Dismiss would. What's the standard? Is that what STD is?
Yeah, it's a standard test, so it's against no obstacle.
Okay.
Okay, I've set mine. I'm good to go.
And then versus is against the other person.
You just need to switch the bodies of argument because Reza has Alessandra's 10.
Oh shit! I just put there. Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Okay.
10 out of 10.
So point is like the regular.
You just say you say your thing, and
I'm just trying to remember what all these things are. Okay. Choose. Duel of wits. I think. What is that? I'm trying to figure this out. What is obfuscate?
Obfuscate is basically like you talk around the point. You say things that don't. It's verbal block.
It's okay.
Non sequitur or bizarre, unrelated point in an attempt to confuse or distract your opponent.
Okay. And then rebuttal is saying, no, you're lying.
A rebuttal is allowing the person to make a point, and then you split your pool like we did before.
Okay.
So part of your pool goes to dismantling their point, and then you make a point of your own.
Okay. All right. I think.
And just remember, Blue Jay, that you can always incite using seduction.
Yes.
What is insight?
Insight is distract or dismay your opponent. Basically, you roll a test equals their will, and if you succeed, he has to make a steal test. And if he fails, he hesitates. So you can like incite and be like, yeah, but what if sex? And then he's like, ooh, I forgot about sex.
I forgot about that.
And then he just has to like stand and drool thinking about sex and having a boner, and then you keep
Get him with your verbal knifing.
Okay. That's incite. What is feint? in a duel of wits?
You trick someone into thinking that you're making 1 point, and then you
Make another one?
You make another instead.
Okay. I
But
think
feint is extremely high risk. I mean, as is insight,
Yes.
because they get countered really hard by certain other actions.
okay. I'm gonna do that. I think. I don't know how it's gonna go. We'll see. We'll just see. It'll be fine. It's good. Everything is okay.
Indeed.
Okay.
Don't-
You got this, I believe, even though I want you
I
to.
mean,
Alright.
a great example of a feint would be how you set up this whole argument in the first place, where you were like, yes, we should get married, but to
to
other,
other people.
right?
Right.
Like that's the classic feint.
Okay. Yeah.
All
I just. I don't. I'm. We'll see
Are
what
you
happens.
ready? You ready to flip the cards?
Sure.
So we're going left to right.
Okay.
All right. Flip it. Ha ha!
Fuck.
I got you. All right. So
So what's?
Got him.
you don't get to do shit.
I don't get to do
Um,
shit.
No.
Fuck.
Against a feint, yeah, you don't get to test. And I just get to hit you with a point.
Reza just comes in with the mad like, stop fucking around.
Well, so he
No, it's a feint.
says to you, he says when Gavril died, who was there at your side?
You were, of course, as was my.
And as we raised the boy, and you were at court, who made sure he was tended to properly?
the servant,
And who commanded the servants to do so?
I did.
He scowls. You have a strange memory. And now, in this time of uncertainty, this sudden winter, with the church falling apart, who remains steadfast at your side, night and day? And he grins and he says, I have all the qualities of a husband. You need only make it official.
Think so highly of yourself.
I mean, he's doing all the husband shit. The feint here is like, I'm already doing the job, and it's you, like you're failing the house. You need to step up.
I'm already doing all this shit. You just need to put that fat label on it.
That's right. If thou likest it, put ye a ring upon
Put a
it.
ring on it.
Labels.
All right. So I think like in the last one, it's worth him having a persona and a fate. I think
Yeah, we
he's a
did that
considerable
before.
character.
He's yeah.
So I'll give him a couple of those. Okay, so this is a persuade test or persuasion test. He is honor wise and lyrics wise. And I'm gonna spend that persona point. And
Here comes the 10-in-1 attack.
Yeah, right.
And
I mean, he's only got 4 for persuasion. So.
It actually says that feint is vulnerable to point on your card.
No,
Yeah,
it
wait.
means avoid, dismiss, and point are vulnerable to fate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the way that they line up.
Okay.
Hold up. Sorry, whose cards are whose?
I'm the
I'm
top.
bottom. I'm point.
yeah,
Okay.
so this is correct
Where's the rules for duel of wits in this book?
in the Duel of Wits section.
It's page
Page
391.
400 around there.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, specifically feint is 396.
396. Okay.
Because here we go. In point, against a feint, there is no test. You are vulnerable.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah,
I think
if
that's
I
Your
feint-
action, if your action is a feint and they have a point, you roll nothing. Is how this chart describes it. So, because on the left. in the
Oh
left
yeah, it's
column,
the
it
other
says
way
draw.
around. Yeah, feint
on the
against
top
a
is-
void.
Oh,
feint
shit,
against
is
the
it?
void is the thing.
Okay.
So he set this up, and it's actually the other way around. Yeah, I thought it was feint versus point. I read the card backwards, but yes, no, you're right. So he makes these points, but you can shrug them off and you make yours. Yeah, so this is actually
Sorry,
favorable
yeah,
for you.
I thought Blue Jay's card was the feint, and so I was like,
Right.
oh
no,
yeah, of
I'm
course,
making
like,
a
she rolls-
point.
Yes. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
so
he
gets-
says these things like, I've been here. This is the right choice. This is obvious. And then what do you say?
He probably gets to that question like, who commanded the servants to do this? And you say, I did because I'm the boss, and you just like start from there. And he
Yeah.
like his plan falls
Yeah,
apart.
so yeah, that's basically that's the point I would like to make. He says all this stuff about like I have done all the things becoming of a husband, and I say, Reza, these things you say becoming of a husband. You ask who is taking care of the house, who is taking care of Nekulai, who has been by my side all this time. It is not who has been by my side, Reza. It is who has accomplished all these things, and that is not you. It is me. I have been the head of this house. I have been making sure that Nekulai and the estate are cared for. And I will make sure that when it is time for me to wed, if that time be now or later, that the person I am wed to is most advantageous for this house.
All right, go ahead and roll.
So I roll persuade.
With point, yeah, persuasion is the skill that you're using here.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything else that goes into that. So, I think I was making estate-wise points in there. And also when it comes time for me to find a husband, so husband-wise, just those two with persuasion, I think. And the ob is just nothing. Because
Right. Yeah.
4 successes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Do you get any 6? Oh, you have 2 6s
I do.
and 4 fate points.
I would like to spend a fate point.
Yeah, that's a smart move.
So just 2
Okay.
successes.
All right.
Yes.
If I may quickly interject, Adam, if there are other actions of yours that you would want to change now, knowing that the actions interact in this way,
The opposite.
chart, yeah, like does that impact any of your choices? Because I feel like it was kind of unfair because you like, based on your what you thought the feint would do, you made a very smart choice, expecting a point from
Yeah.
her right away. But it's like,
No. I mean, I think I'm playing it the way he would play it. So.
okay, cool. I just,
Yep.
just want to make sure.
Okay, let's reveal the second one.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
What is?
So this is the you split your pool, so you figure out what your whole pool is. We do the role play, you figure out your pool, you split it, and then we make our points.
Okay.
Okay. So so he says to you, Lady Corvidae, you have to understand that you're still in foreign territory. You were married to my married to my brother for so short a time that you were barely his husband at all.
Wife.
A child was born, right? Whatever. A child was born, and that gives you right over his life, but you're not at home. You need someone close to you who understands these lands, their heritage, who will teach your son how to be a proper Larix, not just a Corvidae. For better or worse, this is your home.
You've just said that it is not my home. What point is it that you're trying to make? Either I fit in here or I do not. I've been here for a long ass time. How long have I been here? A long ass time. I think I was here as a courtier and a lady. So 10 years. 11. I've lived here for 11 years. Nearly half of my life. If there is any place that I know better than this, I respect that you wish to help with the running of this estate, as you've done for your whole life. But you are a second son, Reza. Do you not think that it is time for you to find the place where you will spend the rest of your days. The estate goes to Neculai. It is his. That is the way of things. The fact that you wish to help him become a man, like a Larix man, I respect that and appreciate it. But it is unnecessary. Perhaps it is time for you to distract yourself with children of your own.
Okay. So I will tell you how many dice I have, and then you can figure out how many dice you have, and then you can figure out how much you want to spend to defend yourself. So let's see here. Reza is persuasion. I want to fork in ugly truth because no matter how hard you try, you don't belong here, right? You're a foreigner.
That's fine. I am.
And so persuasion for 4, 1 for ugly truth, 1 for lyrics wise. And I think that's probably it. He's not really being like intimidating.
So that's what, 7?
4, 5, 6.
6?
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm using what can you use? What did I do? Rebuttal. What can you use for rebuttal? You
Persuasion.
can still use persuasion.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm not extorting him. Okay, so persuasion plus I definitely used gosh. I mean, I'm still talking about estate wise. I mentioned I talked a lot about, would it be like etiquette or would it be court wise? Like, I've been here a long ass time and I know what the fuck I'm doing. Because I'm talking about
court-wise, not etiquette.
Court-wise, yeah. And then I think that me being like, hey, like, you should go have yourself a family and pay attention to them might be soothing platitudes.
You're being a dick.
I am being a dick.
Yeah, you're not soothing at all. No, you're being really mean.
I'm being real mean?
Yeah,
okay.
you don't get to use soothing platitudes on him.
Soothing platitudes would be if you were like, yes, you would make a wonderful husband.
Exactly.
Blah, blah, blah.
You're
have all these
handsome and
qualities.
smart and brave.
But
just
I
need to be someone
can't
else's
because the reasons.
Yeah.
I mean, I did
Yeah.
say like
No,
I
you're
appreciate
being
all your help in
No,
like
you're being way too mean to qualify. Sorry.
Yeah, soothing platitudes has to be like you are
You're
licking.
not trying to soothe him. So
Okay.
You're getting super close to rapier wit as well. You might want to play into that for one of these.
Oh, I forgot. Like, how does that?
you got to interrupt. You got to
have
you got
to
to interrupt
interrupt.
with
I
a
gotta
one-liner.
interrupt.
You got to be like, yeah, your mom.
Yeah, yeah, your mom. And that's a trait.
That's
I
one of
just
your traits.
wanna
But
read
anyway,
it.
so how many dice do you have?
I think I have 6.
Okay.
As well, because it was 4 for my persuasion plus 2 court wise and estate wise. So you have 6 as well,
Yes.
and I can divide mine between defense and attack.
Yeah.
Right.
All I can do is attack.
I don't remember what I put as my last one. What did I put as my last one? Oh, I remember now.
Oh, and we both. I mean, we can always just add 1 extra die for role playing because that's a thing. So we
Oh,
both have- we
right.
both have
Okay,
7.
7. All right. I'm going to defend with 2 and attack with 5.
Okay. All right. So I'll roll my 7. Reza. All right. Keep going to click brawling. That's not.
That's not what we're doing.
Okay. So he's got 4.
Please don't
modifier 3.
do that.
Start
That's where-
punching.
That's,
No.
That's where it'll go after he loses the duel of wits because it'll be his only recourse to not have to marry someone else.
Okay. I got only 2.
Do you have? Oh,
I had no
ooh,
6s.
and no 1s. Okay.
So you just
Then-
roll 2 dice.
Okay.
Okay. No successes. So you take.
So I take 2.
Yeah. You take 2 damage.
And then I was attacking. It would be I would just roll persuade with like +1 because it was 5, or just roll 5 dice.
Just roll 5 dice.
Okay. 5d6.
Okay, so,
So
two
two successes.
Yeah, do you want to
For
spend
the
a fate
6.
point? There's like almost no reason not to.
No. Okay, yeah, fine. I'll spend a fate point to reroll. D6. Another success.
Okay, so he's down
That's
to 1.
3 successes. Okay. Last for this round.
All right, you ready?
I think so.
Flip it. Oh shit!
What does that mean?
You both just like try to shout over each other, like, "I'm the best." No, you're the. Shut up. Fuck you.
Yeah, it's standard. So it's just like point versus point where you both just roll and do damage, but it's hilarious also.
It is hilarious.
How dare you throw this in my face?
So I guess is that what happens? Does it just end up like a yelling like argument, or
I don't think that Alessandra would yell.
no? Okay.
No. She's very curt and blunt, probably, but not yelling.
Yeah.
I think he might like. So, what was the last thing I said? I was just basically like, you should go find yourself some kids that aren't mine. I think that Reza like would start to speak, like whatever he says, and she's just like, "No, Reza. When I say that you should go find yourself another estate, another family, I mean it. You have been kind, but now mourning is over and it is time for me to find a husband, and that husband shall not be you." And that is the end of this conversation.
Okay. He gets like right up in your face, and he says to you, "It has been a kindness of mine to allow this charade to continue. How do you think the court would feel if I were to tell them what you've been doing while you were in mourning over your husband? Whose side do they think you think they would take, yours or mine? I have a family. That boy is my family. You are the one who does not belong here." So there you go. So he's rolling intimidation.
Of course, I heard that.
I was waiting for the rapier wit.
I don't fucking. I'm real bad at rapier wit.
So intimidation, he's forking in lyrics wise, honor wise, and property wise.
Ugh.
I don't know. Do we think ugly truth? Because you don't really care about the kid, and that was kind of what he was getting at. Like, I love
That's
this
pretty
kid.
brutal, yeah.
I
and
love this
pretty
kid,
true.
and you
Yeah,
don't.
yeah, that was pretty.
I would give him the fork, definitely.
Okay. All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4 plus the dice I'm rolling.
I actually think he's coming out pretty good on
All
this.
right, I'm gonna
dice
definitely
wise.
use his persona. I do.
Ah,
and
fuck.
I haven't used his fate yet. So, and then he gets an extra 2, which you also will. Okay, so it's 4 dice with a modifier of 7.
This sucks.
Let's see how it goes.
This fucking blows.
Yeah, they should
This is
belong
real
to
bad.
me. Whose house? My house. And I got 5. I'm gonna reroll that 6.
This is where this 6 just explodes. Ah.
All right, so I got 6 successes.
Holy
That
crap!
brings you down to 2.
Reza with the
Butts.
And then all you have to get is 1 success.
Yeah, but hard compromise, which I wasn't looking forward to.
Yeah.
Great, good job, GG. Okay, so I would roll. I think that this is dismiss, Bella, please.
Yeah, dismiss. So you can't use persuasion.
Okay. Shit.
What's great is that if you somehow don't manage to get that 1 success, you both spend a heartbeat saying nothing because you both flub the dismiss. So you'd both just be like,
I think I hecked up. I don't think I have any of these skills.
oh
okay.
shit!
So you can use your will. Do you have ugly truth?
No,
Okay.
I don't.
All right. So pick a skill.
There's nothing ugly about how she talks, Adam.
That's true. It's very.
How dare you?
Okay. Fuck. I still need to learn a lot about how to duel of wits.
It's okay.
Okay. So
I feel like this is trying to learn ugly truth then, given how she spoke.
Yeah, I was just like,
Okay.
I don't fuck with you.
Okay. So you get your will. You're gonna roll your will.
Okay.
You can't fork anything.
I feel like
Because
this
I'm
is
learning.
I feel like this is closer to command than ugly
No, command's
truth.
only military.
Yeah.
Is it? Oh, okay.
Purely
fine.
military. So it's a beginner's luck. It's a beginner's luck. Ugly.
Ugly truth, and that's my will. So
Yeah.
that'd be wait.
It's your will plus 2 extra dice, but you need 2 successes to count as 1.
Oh, you got
Okay.
this.
Yeah, I think I read this.
It's like an 8.
And I
you
can't-
need 2
Oh, sorry.
successes on
Ugly
8.
truth. Ugly truth is not like the other social skills. It's based on your perception.
Really? Oh, because you have to perceive
You
the
have to-
truth.
yes, you have to see the truth to be able to point it
Well,
out.
that sucks more.
Is it really?
It is. All right. So perception plus 2,
Okay.
ob 2, basically.
Just obtuse.
You think I'd know that? But...
Ugly truth is the skill that most uses facts too.
Boom.
All wrecked.
There you go. All right.
So I got the 1 I needed plus some.
And it's a routine. It's a routine test, so you can mark it
Okay.
4 dice
Cool.
versus 2. Mark it as you've begun learning the ugly truth.
Mhm.
Reza lost, so you
But
won't be
not
marrying
by
him.
much.
But we need to have a major compromise. Let's take a break and use that as an opportunity to think about what the major compromise might be. And when we get back, we'll do that, and then we'll see what everybody else has been up to. Stick around. More Burning Wheel right after this.